phenomenal. I mean, he's been great for this organization. Anytime you're with a guy for 13 years, you end up being close to that player. And so I've watched him grow as a player, as a man. We haven't talked about last year's in that, so you hope he plays forever, but that's probably not going to happen to any of us. So whenever he decides to hang it up, he's built a great legacy and here, and if he decides this is it, it's it. If not, more power to him.
The desert sun had already dipped below the horizon, casting a long shadow over State Farm Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs, usually glowing with the light of victory, walked off the field under a cloud of disappointment. The scoreboard flashed a rare sight. The Arizona Cardinals had pulled off an upset, and the Chiefs, champions, dynamos, trendsetters, suddenly looked, at least for one night, mortal. In the heart of the post-game chaos, as helmets clanked and reporters jostled for position, all eyes turned to one man who has become a fixture in football lore, Andy Reid. With his iconic mustache and Hawaiian shirt, he's as much a part of the Chiefs brand as their Arrowhead logo. But on this night, with the taste of defeat still fresh, Reid's focus was on another legend in the making, the ever-electric Travis Kelce. Kelce, the Chiefs' all-pro tight end, had been in the thick of it all game, leaping for impossible catches, barking out encouragement, and at times, showing frustration. For fans, it was a roller coaster. For Reid, it was another chapter in the ongoing epic that is Travis Kelce's career. As the press conference began, the room buzzed with anticipation. What would Big Red say about his star tight end after such a bruising loss? Reid didn't make the reporters wait. When asked about Kelce's performance, his answer was immediate, but it hinted at layers beneath the surface. Travis is a competitor, Reid began. He left it all out there. That's what he does, every week, every play. He's the heartbeat of what we do offensively. But as Reid spoke, it was clear there was more to the story than just numbers on a stat sheet. To understand the significance of Reid's words, you have to understand Travis Kelce. He's not just a tight end, he's a force of nature. On the field, he's poetry in motion, juking linebackers, stiff-arming safeties, always one step ahead. Off the field, he's a personality, a leader, and sometimes a lightning rod for criticism. Against the Cardinals, Kelce's stat line was respectable, but not spectacular by his own lofty standards. He hauled in 6 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown. For most players, that would be a career highlight. For Kelce, it was a quiet night at the office, but what the numbers didn't show was the emotion. Cameras caught Kelce on the sideline, helmet off, frustration etched on his face as he spoke to teammates. He wasn't pouting, he was rallying. He was urging, prodding, demanding more, not just from himself, but from everyone around him. Reid saw it all unfolding. He knows better than anyone the fire that burns inside his star tight end. He wants to win. Everything he does is about winning, Reid said. That's what makes him special. He doesn't just want to put up stats, he wants to put up W's. For the Chiefs, losing is a rare experience. Since Patrick Mahomes took over as quarterback, the team has been on a historic run, Super Bowls, record-setting offenses, highlight reel plays. But football, as Reid is fond of saying, is a game of inches. Sometimes, the ball bounces the other way. Kelce knows that better than anyone. His journey to NFL superstardom wasn't a straight line. He was once an afterthought, a third-round pick with a reputation for being a bit too brash. But under Reid's guidance, he's flourished, not just as a player, but as a leader. After the loss to the Cardinals, Kelce didn't duck the media. He stood in front of his locker, answering every question. He talked about missed opportunities, about the need to execute better, and about holding himself accountable. "We didn't play to our standard," Kelce admitted. "That starts with me. I've got to be better, and I will be." Those words echoed through the locker room. For the younger players, Kelce's willingness to shoulder the blame was a lesson in leadership. For the veterans, it was a reminder that even the best can demand more from themselves. What's remarkable about the relationship between Reid and Kelce isn't just the on-field success, it's the mutual respect. Reid is known for his player-friendly approach. He empowers his stars, lets them be themselves, and when necessary, pulls them aside for a quiet word. After the loss, Reid didn't sugarcoat things, but he also didn't single out Kelce for criticism. "It's never just one guy," Reid said. "We win as a team, we lose as a team. But I'll tell you this, if you had 53 Travis Kelces, you'd never worry about effort. You'd never worry about passion." It's a sentiment that resonates in the locker room. Teammates talk about Kelce in almost reverential terms. He's the guy who shows up early, stays late, and brings energy to every practice. He's also the guy who keeps things loose, dancing in the end zone, cracking jokes, making sure everyone remembers that football is supposed to be fun. Great teams aren't defined by how they handle success, they're defined by how they respond to failure. For the Chiefs, the loss to the Cardinals was a gut-check moment, but it was also an opportunity. Reid knows that adversity can be a powerful teacher. In the days after the game, he gathered the team and reminded them of the bigger picture. "One game doesn't define us," he told them. "What defines us is how we respond." For Kelce, that message hit home. He spent extra time in the film room, breaking down plays, looking for ways to help his team improve. He reached out to younger teammates, offering encouragement, sharing insights, making sure no one was hanging their head. It's the kind of leadership that can't be measured in stats or highlight reels. It's the intangible quality that turns good teams into great ones. As the Chiefs prepared for their next game, the mood in the locker room was different. There was a sense of urgency, but also a sense of purpose. Players talked about accountability, about not letting one loss turn into two. Kelce, as always, was at the center of it. He spoke to the team before practice, his voice carrying through the room. "We know who we are," he said. "Let's go remind everyone else." It was a rallying cry, and it worked. During practice, Kelce was everywhere, catching passes, blocking defenders, encouraging rookies. Reid watched from the sideline, a satisfied smile on his face. "That's Travis," Reid said. "He's always going to find a way to make a difference." For fans, football is about what happens on Sunday afternoons. But for players and coaches, it's the day-to-day grind that really matters. It's the meetings, the workouts, the film sessions. It's the quiet moments when no one is watching, when the real work gets done. Kelce understands that better than anyone. He's not just chasing records, he's chasing greatness. And he knows that greatness is built one day at a time. Reid, for his part, isn't surprised. "He's special," Reid said. "There aren't many like him, and we're lucky to have him." As the season rolls on, the Chiefs will face more challenges. There will be more wins, more losses, more moments of brilliance, and, inevitably, more moments of disappointment. But through it all, the partnership between Reid and Kelce will endure. It's a partnership built on trust, respect, and a shared commitment to excellence. It's also a partnership that has reshaped the NFL, changing the way we think about tight ends, about offensive innovation, about what's possible when talent meets opportunity. After the Cardinals game, some critics wondered if the Chiefs' best days were behind them. But in the locker room, there was no panic. There was only determination. "We're just getting started," Kelce said with a grin. And with Andy Reid at the helm and Travis Kelce leading the charge, you get the feeling he's absolutely right.